It is a situation that has students, staff and security at Sir Arthur Lewis Community College and people who work in the area fearful for their safety. 2 attacks on separate young women in one day. The most recent took place Wednesday night. A female student of the college's continuing education program was robbed and stripped of her clothing on her way to her home in Cicero. The young woman sought refuge at one of the offices on campus. The head of the security says the campus, split into 7 zones, is a vulnerable area, particularly at night. On Thursday, Hazel Charles met with lecturers to discuss the situation and says some measures have been put in place immediately to ensure the safety of students.
We want to have a specified time whereby students, even if your studies in the night were to end at a certain time, it would be advisable that students leave campus at a specific time. Of course, we have identified an area where the bus will be there to collect them, and if by all means one has to walk, that shouldn't happen singularly. We strongly suggest that students walk whatever road in a minimum of three, right? And there are certain areas we advise that they should not contemplate on walking.
There is an alternative for students who must leave the campus at night and walk to the bus stand. Charles says a night officer will accompany those students. And he says although there are police patrols in the area, this too needs to be beefed up to tackle the crime surge.
Manpower constraints is our biggest problem. I do not wish to go in detail, but it is posing a big problem for us. And of course, we have to take into consideration government's ability to pay or to recruit the appropriate amount of security officers. We try our utmost to have an officer at each zone. It is not always practicable, but we give priority to the most prone areas where crime are likely to occur.
As the number of attacks near the campus increases, there are calls for security to be armed. But Charles does not support this idea. He says giving security officers guns is not the answer.
I'm from the old school, and I am the person that believes if you arm one, then you, of course, you cause other persons to be even more armed. The English police up to now do not arm the officers on the beat. But and I don't think it would be advisable, or we're not quite ready to have our officers armed. But things are getting rough. We do know that.
The college's 7 security zones span the administration office in the north to the DTEMS building in the south. Attacks in the vicinity of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College are not uncommon, but the recent spate of incidents has forced the security team to reassess the measures presently in place. Alison Kentish, HTS News, Channel 4.